Just hit the button.
Wow. So this has been an ass kicking. Tough to really wrap my head around how badly the
Have some
Eagles
ideas.
defense is being pushed around by a fully healthy offensive line for the Cowboys. That feels like the first takeaway really is that the Cowboys are winning the battle on the trenches when their offense is on the field. The second takeaway is Dak is throwing dimes. He is delivering balls on time to the correct read every single time he drops back. And even though they are running a relatively conservative offense of run, pass to the tight end, it is apparently undefendable. And the Eagles are lucky to be down 13 points. This feels like it could have been. I mean, this game is probably over, but it feels like it could have been like really over if they hadn't gotten the defensive score and if they hadn't, gotten the one punt, which was even a close call, and if they had not gotten the fourth down stop, which the refs kind of helped. Refs again not having a great primetime game, 2 in a row for them. I don't know. Any major takeaways for you, Andy?
You jumped right into it again. You gotta let the people congregate. But I know you had a lot of to get off your chest guessing the Eagles. I didn't feel like you were in the wrong taking the Eagles. My main concern with the Eagles was the missing linemen.
Nah, it has
I
not
had
been a factor.
I had no. I mean, the protection isn't great, but that was kind of expected. We have a mobile quarterback and hopefully a decent game plan. I think just like all the things that could go wrong have gone wrong. Like if you take away I don't want to say fluky because like that defensive line got after it, they got to Dak and they deserve that defensive at least a fumble and if not a safety, they worst case that's a safety I think, and they got their touchdown. But man, the my biggest concern was missing multiple starting offensive linemen, which again has reared its head. Maybe not enough because we just haven't even seen the Eagles' offense out there enough for it to be a concern. It's just not something I've focused on because again, the defense, like you brought it up right off the bat, they're giving up like 6+ yards of carry on the ground to. I mean, both running backs are good. We always give the Cowboys shit because Pollard it should be the starter at some point, but like when you have two starting level running backs, a decent offensive line, and they're gonna play. I mean, if you watch the Manning cast, Eli of all people hit it right away. It's like they're playing that two shell safeties, and if they're not gonna bring people up, you just keep running on them. Just keep running on them. Throw stuff underneath, and then a couple things over the top when it was open. The what do we want to call it? The little hitch where the safety man Peyton did a good job of explaining why that corner bit. Like he bit on Pollard in the flat, left short Schultz wide open for the touchdown, and then obviously the long one to Lamb. Lamb's just good, but Christ, the scoring plays, the referee stuff, the fourth down stuff, the goal line shit is getting all the attention, but like for me, it's the 6 yards of fucking carry. They are just dropping them up front, and that is, I mean, not conducive for a team that's trying to come back against another team. If the other team can run the ball and run it effectively, you are essentially screwed, blued, and tattooed. And I don't know what we're going to do with the second half, but I have very little faith that the Eagles can come back and make this a game. If you have an over bet, you got despite a decent amount of points in the first half went over, I'm not feeling great about it because the Eagles are going to have to contribute to get this game moving in some sort of fashion where the Cowboys actually unleash more than just a slow plotting run attack here. So yeah, this game is messy at best. Although I've enjoyed the Mannings are better with guests now. The guests sucked the first couple weeks. Besides, the McAfee sweating it, they're better. Although LeBron calling plays in the NFL was pretty funny. I'm excited to see how Scully Saban. That's the only thing I'm looking forward in the second half. Is Scully Saban.
Yeah, it's tough to see how he'll. I guess this is a big deal for him. He may be able to draw some recruiting attention for this. I don't really fucking know. I don't know what he.
I want him to
really
bring up the Jacksonville pick six or the kick six. Did you see the Jacksonville game, Nick?
Yeah, my God,
oof. That would be funny.
That would be interesting. All right, well,
we got a line. It's
We got a line.
essentially
The Cowboys are basically a pick 'em. You can get Cowboys at a pick 'em for -114, or you can get the Eagles on the money line for -124. Eagles -0.5 is -102 right now. The total is 25.5, 26, depending on where you look. And there's no action whatsoever.
Somebody in the chat just said,
Literally
"Yeah,
nothing has happened.
Saban needs help with recruiting." Yeah, that's fair. He does.
Nah,
He holds his own down
He
there.
holds his own, but I don't really know what's gained by him doing that. But maybe it's he's doing them a solid, doing his agent a solid. Who knows? I guess I don't think it's reaching to say that the number of plays that the Eagles defense has been on the field is a problem for them physically, potentially, especially given that they're already losing the 1v1s in the trenches so badly. It's not like they can really, make an adjustment and then overcome what the fatigue in this game would already tell you is likely to happen. And Dak has every third down conversion he wants because they have the looks where he's got wide receivers running amok and the tight ends just in that perfect space to get the 4 to 6 yard gain. This is an ass kicking through and through, and my gut says the Cowboys put away this lead pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I was thinking Cowboys team total over. I think you're going to see 13.5, 14.
I guess if they get back in the red zone, they're not kicking field goals.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
You need 2 made extra points.
The other thing I was going to say too is just like, even though I just said over, like in general, the under third quarter is probably a good look. I'd be scared of the full under just based off some real soft stuff if the Cowboys are up 3 scores late. But really, what have the Eagles been able to do, even on the good plays? And Hurts had a really nice pass there, but it was clear, like, they were, as much as I bitch about the refs, like, they had to call holding there. There were guys getting mauled on the offensive line. Hurts hasn't shown me much. The run game had 1 or 2 flash plays. It seems like the play sequencing is out of whack. And, yeah, the defense has got to be gassed. They suffered an injury to a safety early on. Nothing going right for the Kelly green. What is the green? I think they actually use a couple different greens.
I have a tough time really seeing how the Eagles get back into this one. The Eagles get the ball first in the second half, but they need to completely revamp their approach to this game. And Hurts playing from behind, he's not a guy that can really do that. In all of the games we've seen in the very small sample size to this point from Jalen Hurts, he has not been a guy that can wrestle victory from defeat. He has not been a guy that has been able to, to turn the tide when the ship is sinking. Notably losing at the Cowboys 37-17 last year was the game that comes to mind when I immediately think, can Hurts kind of save this thing? That was a game that got away from the Eagles in the second half. They gave up 17 points and they scored 0.
Sudfeld on this team? And thanks to Captain Jack, Midnight Green. I knew it had a cool name. Midnight Green not looking good. And then quick back to the Saban thing, which I'm just completely off course because I'm reading comments. He makes his pitch to Arch Manning on the air. Not crazy. Saban's crafty like that. I'm not. Well, they start talking game, and he just starts like talking. Hey, how's your nephew doing?
He had to step his game up because the Ole Miss guy Lane Kiffin only follows one account on Instagram, and it's Arch Manning. So
his agent called him. He's like, "Yeah, you have to one up Lane Kiffin." And his agent came to him and said, "Well, he said at first his agent says you're going to start doing TikToks," and then Saban just said, "No fucking way." So this is the next best thing, which will be fun. So, I'm not excited about this one. I'm probably just going to take the Cowboys small in the second half.
Cowboys money line plus 102 small.
Yeah, I think they are able to keep moving the ball. They're not going to just sit on this lead completely, especially if the Eagles win.
Money line plus 102 is our second half play. I mean, this is an ass kicking. I don't know what else to say. I really don't have many other nuanced points to make here. Yeah.
No, I wonder if we took a look at the yards, the total yards, because obviously you don't have to suss out any garbage time really for if you could take out that Cowboys drive at the end of the half, but if you can do some calculations on like what the score should be in general, and I think it should be worse than this because the Eagles haven't moved the ball. It was a defensive touchdown, and the Cowboys have moved several times, and one of them, resulted in no points. I think this could be a bigger ass kicking than we actually are seeing in this first half. And the Eagles
it's only actually about a 2-1, a little bit more than 2-1 advantage right now for the Cowboys. It's 19-3 on first downs. It's about a little more than 2-1 time of possession. Penalty battle has gone against the Eagles. Turnovers are a wash, although obviously the turnover that Cowboys had hurt them badly. And the turnover the Eagles had turned out not to matter. Give me Hurts with a lead. I'll happily back against the Eagles in the second half in a game. But Hurts from behind, especially multiple scores, I don't know. I don't see it.
I wanted this so badly to be Eagles up by like 10, 14 at half. It's the easiest second half overplay probably ever.
I know.
And plus then everybody I know took some Eagles +4. They're feeling good. Somebody asked, is Mike McCarthy decent? No, it's Kellen Moore is.
I don't even know if it's Kellen Moore. It's Dak Prescott.
Well, Kellen Moore is taking what he's given him, and it's working. And obviously, the Eagles' defense is really facilitating him looking good, but he's not doing anything stupid outside of that reverse. That reverse was atrocious.
Here's the pie. Here's the pie for the Cowboys' offense. You ready?
Yes.
We're going to slice off 40%, and we're going to give it to Dak Prescott's play, and really the way that he is managing the offense at the line of scrimmage. We are going to slice off about 30% of it, and we are going to give it to the skill position players that the Cowboys have on the field on every snap. We're going to slice off about 20% of it and give it to the level of play we're getting from the offensive line for the Cowboys. And then the last 10%, 9 of it goes to Kellen Moore, and 1 of it goes to Mike McCarthy. How's that for a distribution of credit?
I want to give them more credit than that, just based on their priors.
I don't like the scheme. I really don't.
No. Well, they're taking what the Eagles are giving them, and it's working because the Eagles are just so bad up front right now. But I want to give them credit because I expect so less from them that like getting anything out of this is making me, hopeful for a team that should be a lot of fun with, 2 great backs, 2 really good receivers. Honestly, the tight ends are playing well, and Dak looks like he's back. I looked at the, what comeback player of the year odds were for him pretty much pregame. I mean, it was.
Was it 2-1, 3-1?
It was flat. It was even.
Wow.
Even money, and it's opening minus 200 tomorrow. So
I mean, he is.
Question for you.
His passing has been spot on. He has 2 incompletions. One of them was a perfectly timed hit by the safety. The other was the wide receiver couldn't get his second foot in bounds. The third one, I don't even remember, but I imagine it was probably less likely on Dak's, less likely Dak's fault than it was the other guys out there.
Let's look ahead a little because this Eagles defense a little beat up. The offense isn't doing them any favors. Surely they have a respite next week, right? They're an easier offense. I believe they were 6.5-point dogs. Where does that reopen against Josh Gordon and the Kansas City Chiefs?
I did my numbers today, and I had 9 as the fair there, and I'm not going to adjust. I'm not quite there. Probably 7.5. And I think the Cowboys probably open up as a 5.5 point favorite against the Panthers. So if you grabbed an early Cowboys, early Chiefs number, you did a great job of evaluating the market. And these results, obviously, this result of this game informs that. But the fact that like the most likely outcome of this game was it was going to be, somewhat competitive, close score when, but the Cowboys had a better than a 50% chance to win, obviously. They were like 62% or whatever. And if the Cowboys won, and if the Eagles lost, then presumably Chiefs were going to go up, Panthers were going to go down. And so I think that was the very strong read market wide. Anyone who grabbed those, Femi laid the 5.5 at the Chiefs. That was smart. That's going to open on the other side of 7.
So Chiefs. Here's my first play. outside of what we already laid. Chiefs Titans teaser. Put that in the
Chiefs
queue.
Titans
Chiefs
teaser. Okay.
Chiefs Titans teaser. That's going in everybody's account. I might as well have one too. And running back to the comeback player of the year prop, it just makes me think of. We got a comment from somebody this morning on our guy Miles Garrett, defensive player of the year. He had a book who was sleeping a little, and anybody who has a lot of outs, I encourage you to look around for some of these player props, these award markets. Once in a while, you get a book that just doesn't take decent limits on it, so they don't care, and they're slow, and you can find some bad numbers, even if you can't get much down on it. Take advantage of that. Everybody in the market had moved Garrett down to 3, 2.5 to 1, and there was a 6 sitting out there still this morning. The same thing is going to go for Dak. If there's a Dak at plus money for comeback player of the year, the only way that's likely not getting home is another horrific injury. I'd probably play that small if I could find that for anything above even money, because the competition is Jameis and Darnold, and the narrative around Carolina is the defense right now, and
also given someone coming back from an injury compared to someone coming back from sucking,
Gasing,
they're giving that to the guy who comes back from an injury every fucking time, single time, rightfully so. Like, you shouldn't get a comeback player of the year award if you sucked and now you don't. Like, that's kind of it's not really in the spirit of the award, in my opinion. The spirit of the award should be you overcome some physical hurdle or some life issue.
It's like that
hurts. That was a bad pass. Ooh, that was bad.
Oh no.
Cowboys money line looking good second half.
You shouldn't get rewarded for sucking. It reminds me of the Ron Rivera second coach of the year. It's like he kind of biffed that team, and then he got it. He won it 2 out of 3 years.
Are you worried at all that it might be Minshew time, and
I actually am a little
sweat out a Minshew second half cover?
If you're backing an over, if you took a pregame over or anything live, I think you're excited about. You're definitely asking for Minshew. He is high variance.
Let's see how bad this pass was. Let me take another closer look at this.
Are we illustrating that? That not sucking.
That was a really poor pass.
You ever hear that Mitch Hedberg joke about alcoholism? It's like it's the only disease you can get yelled at for having. That's what that makes me think of, like sucking and winning the award.
Yes, yeah. He came back from alcoholism.
Damn it, Otto! You have lupus. Dan just wrote it. Minnesota comedian Mitch Hedberg, R.I.P. Yeah, the unders are looking rough. I'm glad I steered clear of the third quarter under. That would have felt horrible.
Oh,
that would have been about par.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I did not see the inactive. So knowing Minshew's inactive, this is going to be the Hurts experience till the end.
Somebody in the chat, who is the backup right now? Is Nate Sudfeld still on this roster? I do not know.
Well,
blazed. I am a little.
Let's see.
Pull up our lads.
Beat me. Let me see if the chat can beat me.
Chat's racing you.
Are they?
I haven't seen anything yet. Somebody says I'm blazed. Somebody gave me an RIP Mitch. More until I join you. Flacco. Oh God, how could we forget that? Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Kevin Cobb. Incorrect.
Joe Flacco time.
I'd love to see some Flacco.
All right. I mean, if I'm not worried about Flacco or Hurts coming back at this point.
Is it fuck to say I would have been more worried about Minshew than Flacco?
Rick Daddy, gambling is a disease, but the only one where you can win a lot of money.
That was a Norm Macdonald quote. Again, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
All of the good ones.
Did you see that guy that hit the $8 parlay on the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, that's what it was. Either that's how much money he had left in his account, or that's all that they would take on that. Like, yeah, all right, buddy, $850 is too much. We're not going to give you a full $1.2 million.
I'm blown away, honestly. Like that was so phenomenally improbable. Like, what do you think the true odds of that were? Because there's no way the true odds were like 250K to 1.
Similar to the monkeys typing out Shakespeare thing.
The 125K to 1 was what it paid out. Do you think the true odds were closer to $1 million to 1?
12 three-way markets. I mean, especially with some weird variants that you would have
12
because there's
three-way markets. That's the
12
important part that people don't
three-way
realize.
markets.
It was 12
it wasn't
three-way markets.
It's picking like hockey, regulation hockey, three-way soccer. It's like a 12-way 1x2 soccer thing.
Oh, that's not as
AB
bad.
says,
That's not as good as I would have expected. So the 200, 250 and 7.
Honestly, should that guy be mad for not getting true odds? He should be upset.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, no, that was.
Dan just says name the most random former Eagles quarterback you can.
Most random, huh? Kevin Kolb.
Kevin Kolb was
Kevin Kolb the backup. KOLB Kolb.
I'm trying to think of who was the quarterback before Cunningham, like when I was young.
There was a Ron Jaworski era.
Oh, Jaws.
Yeah.
Coy Detmer. Grateful. Jim McMahon used to play everyone.
Yeah.
Kafka.
Vince Papali. Yes. Absolutely. This is a fun game. I'm gonna pull some other fun ones out of the annals here. Let's find some.
The annals of history.
Sam
Bobby Brister.
Doug Peterson led them in passing one year. Did you know that?
Yes, I remember that he was a quarterback. I didn't say it apparently, but I do remember that now. Bobby Brister's a good call.
Bobby Brister. Rodney Peete was an Eagles quarterback one year.
Oh, you guys see that moth?
That's good, man.
Oh, guys. Well, we got a touchdown for our side for once. Stumpy Thomason. Dan's just looking at like shit from the 20s. It is a fairly old franchise.
It is. Yeah, it's been a long time. All right. Well,
should we regroup this Wednesday and make some plays?
Yeah,
Chiefs,
hold on. Let's
cross Titans,
our fingers.
Teaser.
Cross our fingers that this Cowboys money line second half comes through. Hopefully, the people believed in us. Hopefully, we come through with 2 out of our 3 halftime winners this week. Yesterday, obviously, was a loser. Although I gotta tell you what,
it felt good to get the Green Bay at the home though.
Oh man,
I had it in 2 contests and I bet it. Like getting Green Bay 3.5, 4 home felt like a win. Especially after the refs who were out to get us.
Oh man,
Green Bay was the last leg of a shitty teaser I put in. Green Bay plus 9.
Well, we got
very wongy leg.
We got to remember. This week to look up and make sure that Trey Boger wasn't cut by whoever.
Oh god, he was cut by 2 different NFL teams he was on. So we'll be checking that.
He was cut by 2 NFL teams. Who was the other one besides Packers?
I'm going to have to go look it up again, but I'm going back on the Trey Boger site.
Well, now I got to know.
Yeah. I got to know.
He was cut by the Packers in 2006.
Played for the Argonauts.
Dude, there was a big Reddit thread on this from before the game.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's how it made its way to the internet, man. Reddit.
Oh my God.
Reddit is the funnel for the internet. That's where all the shit comes in.
I can't believe there's a Reddit thread about this from before the game. Football refs Reddit is fucking bananas.
Yeah, don't
I cannot go down this. I cannot go down this rabbit hole. Oh boy. Yeah.
All right. Let's regroup Wednesday and pick a bunch of games. Still no buys, so we'll have a long one again, but we'll put the timestamps in for you guys. And also, we announced it on Twitter. I'll probably retweet it again, but like, if you watch this on Twitter, it's not called Periscope anymore. It's just like Twitter Live.
Twitter Media Live, yeah.
You cannot comment. They haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, complain to Twitter, please.
I think they will sort it eventually, but and a big part, we love your comments. Obviously, we read them the whole time. I get fucking distracted by you guys. I lose track of what's even going on. I'm reading so many comments. So if you do want to comment, Twitch, YouTube, I'll get you some links. we love hearing what you guys have to say during the halftime and overtime, and see you Wednesday.
You know what?
Through.
One of the bonuses.
One more thing.
One of the bonuses of throwing a pick six is your defense gets a little bit more time to catch their breath.
That's true.
So, yeah, time of possession really starting to level out here as the Eagles do jack squat with their offensive opportunities. Similar sort of lack of confidence.
Oh yeah, I'm not watching the game. What happened on their next drive?
Incomplete pass on a pretty poorly designed screen, and then Jalen Hurts scrambled for 1 yard. So it is 3rd and 9. Philly is on their own 26, and the jumbotron is showing some absolutely insane Cowboys fans, like some
the guy with the crown.
These guys were insane. All right, good.
Oh, I'm gonna go inside and watch Saban.
Yeah, go enjoy Saban. Let's put a bow on this one. Jalen Hurts will not take. He will not throw the ball. He will not. He's thrown it enough tonight. He's
Third
just
down.
ready to take a knee, buddy. All right, I'm killing it.
Tell the truth.
Hitting the end.